Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Happy and Starbuck. Starbuck spawning as the orange human player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left, we have Happy spawning as the purple undead. So, orange human versus purple undead here on Autumn Leaves version 2.0. Let's go ahead and get to that 2-minute mark, and we'll start to see what the strategies that are being implemented by the players. We can see, well, pretty much standard Ultra of Darkness, and it is going to be a Lich first from Happy going up against an Archmage. Archmage Footman, no Paladin Rifle for Starbuck in this human versus undead matchup. That particular strategy has become rather popular as of late. Just try and keep units, just trying to keep units alive and difficult for undead to really go anywhere with it, especially with that paladin being able to give devotion aura and also be able to heal effectively. It's one of those combinations where the more armor you have, the more static damage is effective, especially when you're trying to heal. Healing a unit that has 12 armor effectively has healed more effective hit points than a unit that, say, had 6 or 4. So things to think about in terms of the overall time and how long it takes to finish off units, as we see 2 Acolytes already here by Happy. So Happy really committed to this expansion attempt. Now going to start haunting this gold mine soon, and perhaps maybe training additional Acolytes and moving over there. Meanwhile, we're looking at Starbuck quickly, even bringing in some militia all the way across to this goblin or this merchant shop, as the Archmage and Footman now make their way down. All right, so peasants are going to try and walk and retreat back. Happy sees this army or this group of peasants here and just says, this looks absolutely like child's play. They're going to see deny right there. Militia finishing off some of the peasants just so that no experience is given. Meanwhile, Archmage is coming back across here to try and shut down the expansion before it gets started. No tech to tier 2, and Starbuck has an arcane tower, but it is currently in the process of being upgraded and still has quite some ways to go. All right, this is a big deal. If I highly doubt Happy would actually be playing with reforged graphics, but if he was playing with reforged graphics, he would have seen that this scout tower is nowhere near being upgraded. And if it is nowhere near being upgraded, then he could have stuck around in that battle and perhaps finished off a bit more peasants. Not that I'm calling for, just trying to point out other differences between the two, as we are looking at another Footman getting taken out here. All right, Lich sitting at 2.5, Archmage also sitting at 2.5. We're looking at, Ghoul about to get taken down. Yep, there you go. Archmage trying to perhaps get to level 3 quickly, as we see a couple of militia engaging against ghouls out in the middle of the battlefield here. This is not a good spot to be in. That ghoul, however, able to escape away at 15 hit points, as the militia were called in to perhaps try and set up an expansion here. Archmage going to drop a water elemental? No, not dropping a water elemental as I originally thought. Low hit point militias now going back to their peasant-y self, as we're looking at this Ogre Magi perhaps about to get taken down. Lich just trying to get that last hit here, and there is that last hit. Archmage didn't even bother. He's going to pick up the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength and the Tome, and this is a problem. Without a water elemental here, there's just not enough range damage to punish all of this chasing. Now Starbucks is in a little bit of trouble. You can see that the Lich is now down to 125 hit points. Archmage is going to go ahead and use a Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to see some more damage here as we see a Dark Ritual to try and get a little bit more mana? All right, there's a Ritual Dagger by Happy. Happy now trying to retreat all the way back. There's some Bloodlust. Archmage coming back across here, and what is going to go down? The skeletal minions could spot all of this, and are they going to try and put in a little bit of pressure again? Happy really playing at the edge of the sword right here, trying to maximize his effectiveness by poking constantly. Meanwhile, what is this Archmage doing? Archmage going to be coming back around, perhaps getting in front of this Lich and getting in an auto attack to prevent some of the healing. No, Archmage of Starbuck doesn't know that the Lich is right behind. Instead, sees a Nerubian tower being upgraded, and now a Haunted Gold Mine. Haunted Gold Mine. Anytime that you're able to force that Haunted Gold Mine to reset is additional gold and additional timing that you are pushing off from your opponent. All right, the Water Elemental purposely trying to back himself into a corner, and, not going to be able to do anything to that haunted gold mine, really. Perhaps the level 2 water elemental is going to be able to do a bit more. Archmage trying to hang back here, waiting, perhaps waiting, and now sees that the coast is clear, going to drop a water elemental, and now put pressure here again. Remember, Archmage does not have a Scroll of Town Portal. He's going to have a really, really difficult time. Are we going to see a Frost Nova here? No, we are not. Water elemental just going to get cleaned up. Meanwhile, the Ghoul is trying to finish off this one peasant, not going to have anywhere to go, really. Finally gets taken down. 4 peasants now speed building that town hall here. Haunted Gold Mine will need a bit of repair. We are still at tier 1 after all this time from Happy. Same thing from Starbuck. And 7 minutes into this game, both sides at tier 1 and both sides setting up their expos. Footmen are going to try to dive into this position here. We're going to look at the Haunted Gold Mine. Going to get some repairs in addition to trying to get a little bit of that gold out. Lich does have, well, enough mana for a couple of Frost Novas. And, well, going Frost Novas could be the important thing to do now, as that would actually apply slow onto some of these footmen as well. By slowing down the attack of these footmen, you're also ensuring that the Haunted Gold Mine stays alive, but that doesn't really seem to be a threat any longer. Happy just going to clean things up and, well, keep some of that mana for use for another day. All right, nearly full. No, we are at full saturation. A 6th Acolyte at the Expo, perhaps for just repairs. Or building an additional buildings here. I guess the undead city planner, so to speak, as this Acolyte really should be trying to repair this Haunted Gold Mine. That's a lot of Acolytes there. Wow, 2 additional Acolytes here, as the Acolyte's doing a little bit of a dance back and forth. All right, this could potentially be, well, Happy just letting the Acolytes fall. Lich now making its way over. Yeah, repairs were not done. Lich now finally back. We're going to see some damage being applied. 1 footman going to get taken down. Yep, another footman could get taken out. We're going to see another Frost Nova to pick off another unit. No, we are not. Just summoning up some more again. Scout tower up here. So, Autumn Leaves, their choice to expand towards the center expansion locations mean that we're going to see a lot of these types of scuffle battles in the center. A dual deny right there, beautifully done by Starbuck to deny that experience, as that Lich is, well, taking a bit of the experience lead, but Archmage trying to take it back now, as we're going to see another footman get denied again. All right, so Lich no longer has the experience lead, but Starbuck no longer has that large of an army. 35 supply over 48, drops another water elemental, was not able to deny that water elemental here, as the ghouls are going to try and push. All right, anytime you push closer towards your opponent's base, that means reinforcements are going to be coming much more quickly, as we're looking at a low hit point ghoul backing up there. Meanwhile, water elemental trying to back away here. Archmage going to try and chase down that ghoul. No, not worth the chase, as the skeletal minions are getting cleaned up again. All right. Level 4 now on that Lich, a big Frost Nova there, another Dark Ritual, as that Lich now has enough mana for another Frost Nova again. Tech to tier 2 nearly done, tech to tier 2 halfway done there, as we're going into that blacksmith for perhaps some riflemen and some casters. Ghoul now looking to retreat back. We're looking at that Lich back across here. Another Dark Ritual. Lich has plenty of mana to do, well, lichy things. Circlet of Mobility, Potion of Invulnerability, and Scroll of Healing, all quickly purchased from the shop. And now making his way over to try and get to level 5. Enraged Wildkin Footman. Both sides are engaging here. Goblin Shredder joining in on the battle. Low hit point Footman perhaps should be, well, picked up. You can look at that Enraged Wildkin getting attacked from behind. Null Overseer, both sides just, well, trying to finish off the respective units. Low hit point units getting elevated out of that tough spot, as the Archmage does get to level 4. No Scroll of Regeneration yet, does have a Ring of the Archmagi.
A player's forces are under attack.
Now, Arcane Vault, some healing should get underway. Goblin Shredder now making its way, should be able to clear out this forest pretty quickly, as the Lich Crypt Fiend looks to go after this Forest Troll Warlord creep camp in the center. All right, Lich gonna keep a little bit of distance. Still no Death Knight out on the battlefield, about to make his presence known. And once that happens, well, Lich first with Death Knight second, a lot of healing could get, be in store. We can see that there's a double Rod of Necromancy. That Healthstone wants to be picked up, but the Lich just doesn't have any more room in the inventory. And this could be a big thing if the Archmage can get it. Can the Archmage get it? No, Archmage's inventory is also full. Healthstone finally picked up there as the Death Knight perhaps going to try to go after this Water Elemental. Nope, not going to go after the Water Elemental here. Death Knight just retreating back. All right, Goblin Zeppelin did drop into the Expo here to try and cause some problems, but no real problems here. The Goblin Zeppelin going to pick up and then elevator all of those units back onto the ground on the other side. We're looking at the Archmage looking to retreat back here as well. Perhaps go after this top left creep camp and get that Mountain King to level 2. We are going into a second barracks. We can see that the keep is upgrading as well. A third barracks and a dual workshop. So it looks like flying machines and knights to try and counter. Quick Stormbolt onto the Kobold Geomancer. This creep camp will give the Mountain King level 2. Water Elemental tanking all of that damage. Meanwhile, Archmage hanging back, sitting at level 4, going to be coming over to bring a scroll of regeneration to all of these footmen. Perhaps try and get a little bit of a heal going. No, not quite yet. Still can do a little bit more creeping before allowing the healing to happen here. All right, dual workshops, triple barracks. Starbuck is running off of two bases right now. Not quite sure how he plans on actually cranking units out of 5 production buildings in Warcraft 3. Normally, you just don't have that many production buildings at all. All right, we can see also a lot of upgrades getting underway. Level 2 weapon upgrades, level 1 armor upgrades, and then level 1 weapon upgrades for those flying machines as the Archmage is going for the Null Overseer creep camp here off on the side. Both sides being very cautious, not yet trying to take out those red creep camps. Archmage dropping in and trying to disrupt a bit of mining here, and any mining that he can slow down or stop is gonna be helpful. Meanwhile, the Mountain King gets to level 3. That's gonna be a big deal, as we also see a Wand of Mana stealing for that Mountain King now. All right, unit's going to be trying to perhaps Scroll of Town Portal defend. No, we are not. No Masonry upgrade. We're still sitting on no upkeep from the human player. Starbuck happy very much deep into low upkeep, so he's not getting as near of an economy. Peasants, well, going to easily get cleaned up there, as we can see a little bit of an engagement. All right, Water Elemental going to get dropped. Death Knight, Potion of Invulnerability used in time. Frost Nova now going down. Mountain King may try and chase after that Death Knight. Are we going to see it? The Potion of Invulnerability has come to an end, and the Mountain King looking for that Death Knight. Death Knight now going to go ahead and back away, as we're going to see a quick crypt being get cleaned up there. All right, more damage added on through. There's a quick impale. That is a bunch of low hit point footmen. Scroll of Healing used in time. Both sides continuing to fight. Death Coil finds its target this time around, but still not going to be enough to save all those units, as the Death Knight, Lich, and Crypt Lord are now giving chase. All right, Death Knight should be able to get off another big Frost Nova, or, well, Death Knight could have been given off a big Death Coil. No, Frost Nova instead to slow down all those units, and that could actually help Starbuck train up more knights back at home. He was kind of supply blocked, sitting at 50 supply, losing all of those units. Well, frees up supply to try to train up better knights. I believe do the knights have animal war training and also sundering blades? That is the follow-up question, which only I can tell once. Yep, sundering blades done, animal war training done. So with those done, that's going to be some big help. We also see a Staff of Sanctuary on that Archmage, and we see, yes, a Paladin coming in from behind. So Paladin, Knights, the human trifecta going up against the undead trifecta, this time with the Crypt Lord and those impaled. Death Knight gets up to level 3, gets Claws of Attack plus 12. So big Claws of Attack right there, given off to the Lich instead. I never really noticed, but the Claws of Attack plus 12 actually has more claws than the Claws of Attack plus 5. Did you know that? I did not notice that. Or is it basically the same picture, but it's just kind of shifted over, and you just can't see that other claw? I don't know. Holy Light coming across, saving Warsong Battle Drums. That's going to be some big damage bonus. Archmage sitting at level 4, plus 12 damage between the Claws of Attack plus 5 and the Warsong Battle Drums. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord, Obsidian Statues, Crypt Fiends looking to clear out the remainder of the green and orange creep camps out on the map. Paladin needs to get to level 2. They should be able to do that here. Paladin already had some experience, so... Or is he just going to be shy? He could be a little shy. Yeah, a little bit shy right there. Now needing one more creep to get to level 2. Perhaps for Devotion Aura or Divine Shield. Both extremely helpful as Starbuck breaks into low upkeep. Now sitting at 71 over 76. Main gold mines have about 5 minutes of mining left in them. 4.5 if you're trying to get two technical. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength plus 3 left for the Paladin. Now level 1 Paladin up to 725 hit points, looking to clear out this last creep camp here. The Sludge Finger, the Giant Skeleton Warrior, and just this one creep camp. All right. Water Elemental absorbing that damage. Sundering Blades here. That Sludge Flinger going to get taken down pretty quickly. Look at all the Knights here. Looking very strong. Meanwhile, yeah, a little bit of armor. Looks like Divine Shield was picked up. Scroll of Healing. We're looking at, well, a half a dozen knights, more than 7 knights out on the battlefield here, ready to engage, move. And here we are going up against Abominations, Crypt Fiends, and all of the others. Militia now being brought back over. A big thunderclap here, slowing down a bunch of these units, trying to keep them at bay. There goes an Impale to, well, try to stun down the other side. Militia now making their way over. Knights, are they going to be able to find their targets? That is the question. I believe the Archmage is the only one that has a Staff of Sanctuary, as the Crypt Fiends are trying to retreat back away. There's a Death Coil. There, one Crypt Fiend does get taken down. Is this Crypt Fiend going to get, or no, that Knight gets taken down. So trading a Crypt Fiend for a Knight. Staff of Sanctuary now also on the Mountain King as well as the Archmage. And, well, the workshops could try and train up a couple of siege engines too, just to try and be a major annoyance, constantly pressuring down those buildings. Flying Machine keeping track of the gold mines here. We can see the Knights do have 3-1 upgrades. Are we getting additional armor upgrades? We are. Nope. Take it back. We are getting that level 2 steel plating. And the Lich and the Crypt Lord still just, well, keeping things at bay. Death Knight trying to get to level 4, not gonna make it. Now, all the creep camps are cleared out. Both sides have their armies established, and we can see that the Archmage is gonna try and retrain into well, Blizzard. So Thunderclap Blizzard to open up AoE damage, just apply as much damage across the battlefield as you can. Looking at the army sizes, the Crypt Fiends, the Obsidian Statues, all of that, the Undead army just seems larger, even though it's at 79 supply compared to 72. It could just be just the size of the units that are making the difference. The Knights here trying to engage. There's Blizzard. Are we going to see another? Nope. That Ghoul ends up just taking a big Death Coil to try and save, as that Knight now looks to back away. Wow. And that Knight already down to 655 hit points. Just after one round of attack, both sides going to fight here. There's a Blizzard running through. There's an Impale. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary? Holy Light instead of a Staff of Sanctuary. He gets blasted down so quickly. Another one of the Knights about to get finished off here. He takes a Holy Light, able to stay alive. That Paladin still sitting at level 2. A couple of Crypt Fiends. Well, there's a Staff of Sanctuary finally. And I just think Happy is just trading better. Finally able to finish off a Crypt Fiend there. But there is only one Knight back at home. Finally 2 Knights there. The Paladin can probably pick up a Staff of Sanctuary as well. But at this point and this stage in the game, Starbuck needs to be better with that Staff of Sanctuary, constantly just keeping units alive. And now that the Paladin has the 3rd, it should feel like one Staff of Sanctuary is always ready and off of that cooldown. Anytime pressure or focus fire is placed down onto a single Knight, staff it back home. and then make your opponent try and deal more damage again. It is very frustrating after dealing 600, 700 points of damage onto a knight to see it just teleported away and know that it's going to come back at full hit points in just a little bit. That's what you're really trying to do here. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto that Crypt Lord? No, we do not. The undead army was nearby enough, and we're seeing more knights just joining in on the fight again. All right, 76 supply over 82. We are not getting level 3 armor upgrades. Goblin Shredder is off over here, just trying to get into a fight. Archmage gets a little bit of Orb of Fire damage onto a unit. Well, that Ghoul down to 142 hit points could end up, getting a Death Coil. There's a little bit more Blizzard. There's a Stormbolt onto an Abomination, and that Abomination suddenly now has anti-magic shell as well. All right, so Banshees are out on the battlefield. Possession is perhaps next. We are still only at adept training though, so possession still not yet done. We see long distance mining happening here. All of these peasants just walking back and forth. One peasant actually just holding a bag of gold there for no real reason. As we are now at one base to one base. Long distance mining obviously not the way to get this job done here, as the units are just going to be trying to battle up against each other. All right, Blizzard, anti-magic shell, protecting all of that Blizzard there. Mountain King wanting to get off a big Thunderclap, trying to get into all of these sea of units. Are we going to see a Blizzard here? Archmage takes a little bit of damage. There goes an Impale, and we're going to be looking at some damage. There's a Thunderclap, picking off two of those ghouls. All right, Banshee looks like it's going to get finished off. Obsidian Statue could be next. Down to 53 hit points, just trying to pick off low hit point units. That is the key there. There's a Blizzard, and that Obsidian Statue is going to get taken down. Looks like a Crypt Fiend able to pass through the fire right there, as we see another Stormbolt go down. That's trying to slow down a bit of traffic again. More Blizzard, but a beautifully timed Impaled by Happy, and able to keep that alive. There's a Death Coil onto a Knight. The Knights are just trying to chase back these units into an uncomfortable spot as we see more Blizzard being rained down. All right, Blizzard raining down onto the Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue does not make it. There's a Staff of Sanctuary. There's another Impale again as the Paladin is inching closer to level 3. There's another Staff of Sanctuary, and I believe there is now that cooldown as the Archmage is still trying to chase after all of these units. There's another Thunderclap there. Are the Knights going to be able to stay alive? Yes, Death Knight able to stay alive. Lich, Paladin able to, Mountain King able to use a potion of invulnerability. There's a tactical retreat, and this is the fight that Starbuck needed. Just constantly staffing units back home. And by staffing those units back home, knowing that they're going to come back out onto the battlefield later, 75 supply now going up against 77. All right, Haunting of the Gold Mine still underway. Archmage needs to retreat back. Mountain King perhaps going to head back home here. There's a couple of ghouls. One ghoul is going to finish off. A Mountain King is going to try and Stormbolt it. Could have Stormbolted and finished, as the militia are now just calling back here. All right, they're going to call back here. Ghoul gets another easy, quick kill. Expo down to the southern side. Happy now has the economic advantage, though, and that could be key. 80 supply over 100. These gold mines nearly mined out as well, so this additional economy by Happy is going to be the big difference. All right, Archmage, Mountain King, or Paladin should really just make its way over there, kill that ghoul, and get to level 3. That would be a big power boost in terms of damage. And by getting that Paladin to level 3, you suddenly have access to you now have access to that level 2 Holy Aura. Paladin 3 experience shy, as you see. Are we going to see a Holy Light onto that guy? Just finish him off, please. Get to level 3. All right, Paladin gets to level 3. That's exactly what he wanted. You see a Knight kind of hiding off to the side here. Not quite sure what that's about. As we see more Staff of Sanctuaries bringing low hit point Knights back home. However, Happy now going into high upkeep. 86 supply over 90. He's going to have a big advantage going into this next fight. Yeah, Starbuck did win that last battle, but things are going to become much more difficult, especially as the Banshees now have possession, not or at mastery training. So not only does that give them possession, it gives them better or more mana, and more mana means more anti-magic shell, greatly reducing the effectiveness of that Blizzard. So Blizzard not going to be nearly as effective either, as the Banshees are getting into position. Perhaps they're going to try and possess targets too. All right, we're looking at 86 over 90 supply still. Unit's going to try and come in from the far side. Mortar team could try and dive in, and this could potentially be a problem. There's Blizzard raining down. Mountain King could come across into the center. Impale does not hit the Archmage. That's important, as the Knights could be in trouble. Mortar team's getting taken down. Well, one Knight gets staffed back out, and we're still looking at more Mortar teams trying to dive in onto all of those targets right there. Are we going to see the Mortar teams finish off some of those units? A Knight does get possessed. Scroll of Healing protecting Mountain King, trying to Thunderclap here. The Mortar teams were unable to finish off the Banshees in time, as some of the Knights do turn colors. All right, a big turncoat right there. Knight gonna be, well, impales, and this is just looking good for Happy now, continuing to finish off this battle, and Starbuck has left the game. All right, so Starbuck with a good fight prior to this, but in the end, unable to shut down the additional economy of Happy on the southern side here, and because of that, ends up losing. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.